Welcome to Moon Harbor Heroes. Today's issue is Hellspawn, Issue 1, Ghosts and Demons. On the cover, we see Faye floating above a fight in a city street. A tall man in a business suit, wielding silver chains, faces off against a smaller person in a black, maroon, and red costume. The costume fighter is lashing out with tendrils of flame coming from their arms. We turn the page and our story begins.
So we start with Faye. It's a full page panel. Her sitting cross-legged, floating off the ground with books hovering around her and her eyes are closed. It's kind of like the iconic Faye pose. And then there's a superimposed, we get a thought bubble with nothing in it, just dots in it. And then the next panel, the next page is that same page, but fractured all around her are different memories of the traumatic things that have happened to her recently, and also the good things that have happened to her too. In the
Let's
broken
get two of each of those fractures.
Yeah, absolutely. Above her, it's the broken mirror motif. It looks like the world has kind of broken, it's floating behind her. And in the broken mirror at the top of the page, we see her holding AM's body and just wailing, and all around her you've got that pink fiery energy that comes with her sometimes, the shattered glass look.
And we have a small editor's note that says, Editor's Note, Amber Marie, AM, former teammate of Faye and Ryder. She died in the fight that Face's team came together in.
Then we have her face-to-face, or we see just the face of Mary Louise Rogers, the head of the cult, who is saying, I don't remember what she said in that issue, but whatever she said in that issue. So it's something like, everything's going according to plan, or we've been waiting for you. I don't remember exactly what she said.
I think it was she's progressing nicely, maybe?
Yes, that's it. So we see Mary Louise Rogers saying she's progressing nicely. In the panel to her right, we see her and Carl kissing with the power plant burning behind them and falling apart behind them.
I love that.
And then underneath we see a panel of Felix running out the door and her following and leaving Carl behind.
Okay, awesome. Then I think we had a couple of panels of you flying down the street.
No, I think the next thing we see is that same shattered mirror effect kind of covers the entire page, and that panel gets bigger. And we get two panels of the mirror getting larger and larger until it becomes the whole picture. It took up about a quarter of the page on the second page, and then on the third page takes up 2/3 of the page, and then the third page is her flying through the street after Felix.
I think this is going to be something the viewer would see, as you shatter through those memory fragments. I think the viewer sees the one piece of glass that has AM's face kind of fly off into the distance and just land. And then we get a couple panels, and then of you flying. We've seen Violet behind you in the first couple panels of this, and Ryder kind of his smoke cloud of his bike disappearing into the distance ahead of you. Where we get a panel of you crossing into the north side of Moon Harbor, where we start getting more high rises and such. And down below you can see a crowd gathered around making a clearing around a couple wrecked cars. You see a few figures down there. It kind of draws your attention for a moment. And then one of the figures stares straight up at you. It's hard to tell at the distance, but in your heart, you just know it's AM staring at you.
Is she in the crowd, or is she one of the figures
She's
in the clearing?
She's at the very edge of the crowd. At the edge of the clearing, standing on the crowd side of the clearing, but a few steps into the clearing. I don't have any of that clear at all. She is part of the crowd, but she's standing slightly apart from the crowd.
Understood, yeah. I'm going to fly down to her, but I'm going to land on a balcony, or is there a fire escape near there that I could land on to get a good vantage point?
Oh yeah, no, you're at a distance that this is kind of in the middle of an intersection. Think, four-way intersection, big crowd in the intersection, a couple wrecked cars right in the middle, and there's
three figures. There's two figures facing off against a smaller figure. And then we get a panel of you landing on a nearby bodega and turning out. And actually, can we get a physical description of AM at this point?
Yeah, AM is about 5'2". I'm making all this up because I don't think we described her earlier, but if we didn't, go back and fix it.
That's fine.
AM's about 5'2", an Asian American woman, Korean American woman, dark hair. She has really, really piercing black or like dark brown eyes, and she always wears the same shade of lip gloss, which is like a coral color. She's lithe and small, and yeah.
She's wearing civilian clothes currently. So what are those? What's her style?
She's in like a gray like workout shirt.
Okay.
And like yoga pants with bright orange sneakers.
Cool. So we get a panel of AM, and she like gives you this like she looks directly at you, gives you this like smile, and then just steps into the crowd, and you lose track of her immediately. Now that you are closer, down below you see the two figures that are on the one side. One of them is a very almost unnaturally skinny tall man in a incredibly nice suit, and he is holding the end of a chain that's running about 12 feet to a collar on the around the neck of another man, who very traditional biker looking guy, and they are standing about 15 feet away from who other listeners of other issues will recognize as Supai. As you're watching, the biker guy lifts a bat and starts running towards the smaller of the figures. What are you doing?
I think right now I'm distracted looking for AM, so I'm gonna land on a car, kind of in the crowd, and try to scope out the crowd, looking for AM. I think I'll probably notice if the kid takes a hit.
Yeah, go ahead and assess the situation for me.
Great. That is an
All
11.
Right. I will tell you, you do not see AM anywhere.
Great. So then, I feel like I know all these answers already. What here is in the greatest danger?
Okay, so while you were searching the crowd, the man is running at the smaller of the people and swinging the bat, and these huge tentacles, or these tentacles of flame fly out of the I'm just gonna start calling them by the name. Faye does not know this, but out of Supai's chest and arms. These tentacles of flames are fairly wild. They hold back the man, but Supai does not seem to have it well under control. The crowd is probably in the biggest danger here, just from collateral damage.
Okay, cool. Can I hold my second question for now?
Yeah.
Great. So I'm gonna go ahead and charge my burn.
Okay. Go ahead and tell us what that looks like. And then roll it.
Yeah. So I kind of just close my eyes and reopen them, and they're the glowing pink eyes of the demon. And then the world around me, like the air around me, starts breaking into that broken glass motif. Almost like reality itself is shattering a little bit. And I'm going to roll to see if I can do it. And I don't have any conditions right now, so it's not going to be great. That's a 7.
That's not terrible.
So on a 7, I'm going to mark a condition, and I get a hold 3 burn.
Okay.
I'm going to mark hopeless. Seeing AM brought back that like gut-wrenching terror and fear and just heartbreak. And then I lost her, and I'm feeling really, really vulnerable right now.
Yeah, that sounds perfect to me. While you were charging your burn, while we get those panels, we get a couple panels where we see the flame tentacles coming off Supai kind of take on that form of broken glass for just a moment. And we can see like a very surprised look on their face. Whether or not Faye notices this is entirely up to you.
I think Faye notices.
It's just a moment, but you see like the flavor of your power reflected along their tentacles.
Great. I'm going to...
Before you decide what you're going to do, let me go ahead and set the scene here. So we've got the biker, and he's viciously attacking Supai, but they're kind of in a standstill here. flame tentacles whipping around, holding back the bat, and like Supai jumping out of the way of dodges, occasionally getting in small hits. But they're becoming, like, you can tell watching from the outside, becoming less and less aware of the crowd around them, and less careful with their swing. The man in the business suit is now standing like atop one of the wrecked cars, and he's holding the the chain. It's got a couple more feet of slack, but he's holding the chain to the collar around the biker's neck, and he's just kind of watching the whole thing calmly. Okay, what are you doing?
I think my first thing is going to be to get the crowd out of the way. So I'm just going to like yell for them to get out. And I'm going to be like, yeah, I think I'm just going to yell for them to get out and start like ushering them away. If I have to do some like encouraging with like powers of, like tossing stuff at them.
I'm just going to have you provoke the crowd at this point.
Great. That's plus superior.
Because I think if you approach this right, you can definitely, get the crowd out of here. But crowds like watching these kind of. Okay.
That's a 12.
Yeah. So go ahead and give me a few panels how you're doing this, with the result of being like it's going to be clear for a few blocks.
I'm going to land in the clearing right in front of the crowd, and my eyes are all glowing, and the broken mirror effect is around me. And then I'm going to speak, and it's going to be the demon's voice, and I'm going to be like, you have to leave now. And the now is going to echo. And as I say that, I'm gonna turn and start attacking the biker guy.
Okay. How you doing, so?
I'm a reality. Actually, reality store doesn't help me right now because I'm rolling plus freak and danger are the same thing. I'm just gonna attack him by throwing some of the shards of glass at him.
Okay, absolutely. Go ahead and directly engage.
Yeah, absolutely.
The biker is not aware of you, but he's very much focused on Supai, but the man in the suit is definitely now watching you intently. Okay, you're just gonna blast every roll, eh?
Apparently. Thanks, sidekick.
Okay, cool. Pick 2.
I'm gonna resist or avoid their blows. And I want to create an opportunity for my allies. So the shards of glass are just gonna start like flying through and slashing him across the back and across the shoulders. It's not enough to hurt him, to like take him down, but it's enough to get his attention on me. And I'm hoping that he'll turn and attack me, letting Supai do whatever, or letting the person who I don't know do whatever they're going to do.
Just call him Supai.
Great, letting Supai do whatever they do.
Okay, cool. So that all happens. A couple other things, though. The man in the suit, upon seeing you attack, we get these glass shards flying. He reaches into a pocket and pulls out a small chain, and then whips it towards you. At the last moment, you dodge out of the way. The chain kind of grows and elongates as it flies, and it hits the ground beside you. And a rift opens up in the ground, and another similar but not identical biker man starts climbing out of it with that chain now attached to their neck. And let's go ahead and enter battle against a dangerous foe.
Solid. We're not going to get any team here.
Okay, so you are the leader.
Great.
You do not have influence over every teammate.
Nope.
What is your purpose in the fight?
To protect this kid.
Okay, go ahead and add another team.
Sorry, go ahead and add how many?
Add another team. So that brings you up to, you have 1 for starting, that's 2 for, 2, you're at 4 right now.
Cool.
Does any team member mistrust the leader of the team? Or the team?
I don't
Do you
think
mistrust?
We don't trust each other because we don't know each other, but I don't think we mistrust each other.
I'd agree with that.
I think we're just neutral to each other.
And are you ill-prepared or off-balance? I'm going to say yes.
No. Oh, yeah?
I mean, I think your mind is somewhere else entirely. You are dealing with, what just happened to Ryder. You are still dealing, like, you just had your kiss with Carl, like, half an hour ago, and you just saw AM. I think you're a bit off balance.
That's a good point.
So that brings us to, what, 3?
3?
Cool. So you can, I think we've talked about this a little bit. You can spend team to have Supai spend team for you. You can also spend team selfishly, and you can spend team to like kind of bump Supai up to the next result. of stuff. Cool.
Sounds good to me.
You can take a condition if you want another team to get
Nah,
rid
I think
the
I'm
one
fine.
you don't get. You've just distracted the first biker who's turned to you, and you have another biker crawling up out of the ground a couple feet behind you. The man in the suit holding both chains at this point. Supai jumps on the back of the biker. These tendrils come out from their chest and like wrap around and like hold the biker tight. The biker drops to their knees. They seem pretty held in place now. What are you doing?
I'm gonna change into the demon, not all the way, but a little bit.
Okay.
Hands and arms specifically. And I'm going to grab the two chains and yank the man in the suit towards me.
Ooh, okay, cool. What is your intent here? What is your end goal of this?
When he gets
I'm gonna directly engage him. I'm gonna punch him in the face or
claw him or grab him by the throat or something.
I'm sure directly.
There's the failing thing I thought we were gonna get here. Can I have Supai help me?
Yeah, absolutely. Spend a team. So we have a moment where you're pulling on the chain and the man in the suit kind of gets pulled forward a bit. Then he redoubles his strength and starts pulling you back. And then we see this flame tentacle wrap around the chain just a couple feet above where your hands are and give another pull where we start to see the man in the suit kind of move towards you, like slide towards you a bit. Go ahead and pick your options.
I'm gonna take his footing from him then, and I'll yank him over to me.
Okay. He gets yanked towards you, and we see these flames from the tentacle like continue up the chain and like burn up his arm, leaving just this thing like this ring of scorched flesh. And he comes, he loses his feeding and just comes dragging across the ground as you yank him towards you. He kind of falls to a heap in front of you, just as you take a bat across the back from the biker who's crawled out of the hole. Go ahead and roll to take a powerful blow.
All right, we're gonna lose control of myself or my powers in a terrible way.
You want to take a crack at the narration? I'll jump in if it needs to go up a bit.
Yeah, so I think I'm emotionally really volatile right now, and this man lands in front of me. I take a hit, and I spin around, and I am full demon. Very, very quickly, full demon. And I think I just, like, grab this biker person and just fling him. And I think it's, like, collateral damage-y that I, like, dig my claws into him and fling him over my shoulder into a building and just, like, slam him through a doorway or a window or something and just, like, shatter a hole in the wall. I'm going to turn back to the man in this suit, and I'm still full demon. I'm going to wrap my claw around his throat and lift him in the air. And when I'm full demon, I'm, like, larger than I was as a person. Normally, demon walks on 4 legs, but I think right now, like, standing up on my hind legs and holding the person up above my face. Who sent you?
He kind of smiles a bit and he goes, "Your makers. It's time for a checkup." And then he lurches forward and tries to slap a pair of handcuffs on one of your arms. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm absolutely using overcharge and not letting that happen.
What does Overcharge do?
Overcharge. You channel the full capacity of your incredible powers to overcome an obstacle, reshape your environment, or extend your senses. Spend 2 burn to take a 10+ when you unleash your powers.
Okay, so what are you doing?
As the handcuffs come near me, I'm going to look at them and I'm going to snarl with the demon voice, and the handcuffs are just going to shatter like the broken glass.
Okay, excellent. For a moment, you can see actual like shock, but he very quickly regains his composure and tries to maintain this like calm, emotionless front. And goes, "Okay, we'll have to do it the hard way." And we see in the panel like you holding him, and then stepping into the background of the panel, we see the biker guy holding Supai by the neck with a knife in the side of his neck. The man in the suit smiles and says, "Put me down or they die."
I look at Supai and I say, "You want to use that fire to help a little bit?"
Supai kind of looks down at their hands, and you see a pair of those nullifying handcuffs on their wrists.
Great. Faye puts the man in the suit down, takes a step away, and then turns and whips back and punches him in the face. It's not enough
Cool.
to kill him, but it's enough to just be like, I'm really mad and I'm taking out my frustration because it's been a really fucking long day.
Go ahead and roll to directly engage. Right.
I want to take something from him. I want to grab a chain that is holding the biker guy, and I want to yank the biker guy off his feet and have him drop Supai.
I will let you grab the chain, but it'll be a thing from there.
I want to create an opportunity for my allies with that chain to hopefully let Supai get out.
Okay. So you are doing take something from them and create an opportunity for your allies?
Yep.
You are not resisting or avoiding blows?
No, I'm not.
Okay. You punch him in the face. He staggers back. You snatch the chain out of his hand. In one quick motion, you yank the biker. He drops Supai, and Supai rolls and starts booking it towards an alley. And then the chain wraps itself around your hand and binds around your hand. It has not nullified your power, and your hands are not bound together, but you are now attached to this biker. The biker that you threw through the window is now pulling himself out of it. He looks pretty groggy and shaky, but he starts kind of clumsily heading off after Supai. What are you doing?
Great. So I'm going to use my telekinesis and try to break the chain.
All right. Go ahead and unleash your powers. So we get this panel where the man in the suit is, pulling himself back up. He kind of got knocked down to his knees. The biker that's attached to you is now running straight towards you with the bat, and you're yanking on this chain with your telekinesis. You got a 6. What do you want to do with that?
Can Supai help me?
Probably not, but you could probably put Supai in danger and use your team selfishly.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. The telekinesis is gonna be way stronger than I thought it was. I really thought that it was just gonna break the chain, but it actually sends the biker flying 15 feet backwards. But he lands on his feet right next to Supai.
Okay, cool. So you're standing there. There's just a bit of the chain hanging from one of your hands from a broken bit. The biker at this point has grabbed Supai again and is holding them aloft. The man in the suit gets to his feet, turns and looks at the bikers. You know what? One will do. We'll get the other one later. And the bikers start heading towards an alley. The man in the suit is backing away from you, but not taking his eyes off you. What are you doing?
Is Supai being held by the... Oh, damn it. I forgot Supai has the bracelets on.
Yep.
I'm gonna telekinetically try to break the bracelets, the handcuffs, so Supai can be useful again.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and unleash your powers.
That's a 12.
So do you just only roll 6s and above and 12s? Is that your shtick today? I'm sorry, never mind. You rolled a 14 as well.
Yeah, I think it's 6 or 12 plus. I don't think there's any other option.
All right.
So I'm going to turn and throw one hand behind me. I'm still facing the man in the suit, but I'm going to throw one hand behind me and just swipe my claws through the air. And the claw marks are going to appear on the handcuffs 20 feet away and just slash them off their hands.
Okay. When you do so, Supai looks down and the handcuffs just kind of the center bit of the handcuff falls off. The cuffs themselves stay on, but you can see the light go off, the power deactivate. And they kind of smack their hands together to make it look like the handcuffs are still on. And just kind of give you a grin and let themselves be dragged off.
I think at that point I fully turn and I'm looking directly at them, being what the hell are you doing? Opening myself up to get grabbed by the man in the suit. Okay.
So he, noticing the opportunity, are you just going to put up a mock resistance to this?
No, Alana in character is just staring incredulously at this kid who let themselves get kidnapped. Out of character, I know that that's going to open me up to an attack from the man in the suit.
Okay. Yeah, he, noticing this opening, swings another chain, cracking another rift. Another biker steps forward and lunges at you with cuffs. What do you do?
I hear the chain when he cracks it to bring the biker guy up. I'm going to unleash my powers to try to break the cuffs, like, right as they clip them on me, and try to do the same kind of thing that they're doing, because I'm confused, but it looks like they have a plan.
The cuffs slap around your wrist. Go ahead and just do an unleash your powers for me to see whether or not like you can fake this.
That's a 5. I don't fake it.
They securely snap shut and the light pops on. We have a couple panels where the two of you are roughly dragged through a series of alleys and then tossed in the back of a van. One of the bikers is still sitting in the van, watching over the two of you. The other two have stepped back through rifts before the man in the suit gets in and starts driving the car.
Moon Harbor Heroes is produced by Anthony Sheets and TP Huth and edited by Anthony Sheets. Anthony can be found on Twitter at IcyNewYear or at IcyNewYear.com. T is the host of Incubator on Air, a new play podcast available on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and Google Play. They can be found at T Huth Playwright on Twitter or TPHuth94 on Instagram. This issue was GM'd by me, Anthony Sheets, and Faye was played by T Huth. The music for this issue was Halls of the Undead by Kevin MacLeod. A link to the license and his website will be in the show notes. Our logo was designed by Beautiful Beasties. She can be found on Instagram at beastly.doodles or on Patreon at patreon.com/beautifulbeasties. If you want to get a hold of us, email us at moonharborheroes@gmail.com or on Twitter at moonharborcast. If you enjoyed this issue, please consider leaving us a review on iTunes and recommending it to friends. Word of mouth is really the best way for us to bring these stories to more people. And thanks for helping us save the world. We'll see you next issue.